forward. Good evening and welcome to another class. Live streaming from my yoga space to your yoga space. I hope you've all had a good weekend. Hope you're all feeling rested. And so today I'm going to take you through a nice vinyasa flow class. Nothing too crazy, just something to just get the blood pumping a little bit and just get us present on our mat and just exploring as always our inner space. So come to your mat, as always, grab anything that you may possibly need during the class, so blocks, straps, a bit of water, maybe. Try to avoid drinking the water, but if you want a little bit of water by you before we start, go ahead, grab it. And we'll start by lying on our backs this evening. I'm going to lie down. And just getting comfortable on your back. And it can be in whatever variation of lying on your back you want to do. So you can be in Shavasana, you can have your knees pointed towards the ceiling like me. You can have the feet wide, the knees knuckled together. You can be in reclined Baddha Konasana if you wish. The arms can be above the head or by the side of the body. And let's just close the eyes wherever you're at. And let's take a moment just allowing the skin to melt over the bones. And just feeling where your body connects to the mat and allowing the body to be completely supported by your mat, by the floor, by Mother Earth. Just taking a moment again to notice how your body feels right now as you lie here. And noticing the mental body. How is the mind today? And draw your focus to your breath. And just check in with how the breath is. And keeping the body nice and heavy now, nice and relaxed. Let's start to deepen our inhales, lengthen our exhales. As we prepare to take a journey through movement, through the body, towards the mind. And drawing our focus back to our true selves through the present moment. And remember, as we move into the practice and then move through the practice today, I want you to keep the focus on the breath and try to maintain that meditation, that meditative state throughout the practice. Finding grace in the movements. And just finding connection. Keeping the ego in check, as always. So we don't overly push. And risk breaking the body. And bringing the hands to the outside of the legs if you're in your reclined Baddha Konasana. And let's draw those knees together. Give yourself a squeeze. Draw the knees into the chest. And then a rock from side to side. And breathing nice and deeply. Excuse me. Let's interlace the fingers in front of the right shin and we'll send that left leg towards the mat. Your option to hover that foot, your option to drop that foot onto the mat. And we'll just start making some movements through that right hip. So nice big circles. And drawing that knee back in, and let's straighten through that right leg. If it's too much, if you're a little bit tight in those hammies, then your option to bring that left foot onto the mat, and your option to use a strap here on the sole of that right foot, especially if that foot is quite far away from you. Otherwise, we're here and we're just working into the back of that leg. Maybe a little rock from side to side here. Just exploring how the legs feel, how the hips feel. Maybe some rotations with the ankle at the same time. And let's cradle that right leg. Let's bring left hand onto that left hip and let's open that leg up to the right. Nothing too crazy. Keep the hips square to the ceiling as always. As we release tension through that inner right thigh, down through that leg. And draw the leg across the body, coming into a little twist. Option to take hold of that left leg, take the right arm out to the side, and just draw the leg across the body as you find a twist through the spine. If it's too much with the leg straight, your option is to bend through that right knee. Maybe dropping the head over to the right here. And draw that leg back through center. And draw the right knee into the body again. And let's bring the left knee in to join it. Interlace fingers in front of the left shin, straighten the right leg. Again, hover the foot if you wish, or drop the foot to the mat. And again, let's make some rotations in that left hip. Okay, nothing too crazy, just exploring that hip socket, exploring the muscles around that hip. Change direction. And draw that knee back into the body. Drop the heel if it's hovering, and we'll straighten the left leg. And again, option to add a little bit of movement. Option to make some rotations in that ankle. And again, just feeling, just witnessing. Cradle that left leg with the left hand, right hand onto that right hip, and just lowering that left leg out to the side. Again, nothing too crazy. Option to take the inside of that left leg. If you've got a little bit more, maybe add a little bit of pressure there. And draw that leg back through center, coming into that twist. Take hold of the outside of the right leg, left arm reaches out, and coming into that twist. And dropping the head over to the left. And again, your option is to bend that left knee. Draw head back through center, draw leg back through center, bring the left knee and give it a squeeze. Bring the right knee in. Give your entire body a squeeze. And let's rock forwards and backwards. Let's massage the spine, just a few rocks. Rocking up to seated. Let's swing the legs around. Let's come to our tabletop. Knees underneath hips, fingers spread, palms pressing the mat away, triceps wrapped under, strong through the arms. And let's just rock forwards, backwards, just work through the wrists. Maybe leave a figure of eights around the hands. Let's turn the fingers so they're pointing towards the outside of the mat. And let's just rock side to side. Notice how those wrists feel. Notice if one wrist feels a little bit different to the other. And let's continue. Let's turn the fingers so they're facing towards us. And let's just start to lean back. Just lift the heels of the hands up. Press the heels back down. And sitting back a little bit, lift the heels of the hands back down. And again, lifting the heels of the hands. Let's stay, let's hold. Deep breathing. And on your last exhale, just leaning all the way back. So we're lifting up through the fingertips, releasing each finger one by one. Bring hands back onto the mat. Let's take some cat-cow. Let's warm up the spine. Inhale, drop the navel, half forward, lift the gaze, looking up. Exhale, tuck tailbone under, round it through the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the tailbone, navel drops, heart shoots forward, looking up. Exhale to round. And let's take one more round, inhaling. Exhale. And come into a neutral spine. Let's come into a lead with side flexion. From left shoulder towards the left hip as you exhale. Inhale, bring it through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. One more round of these. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. And exhale to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Find your core. Draw the navel in. Pull the lower ribs in. A little bit of a tuck to the tailbone so we're not arching into the lower back here. Strong through those arms. Let's send that right leg back. Pull through that heel just to stretch out that leg a little bit more. As you do this, just check we don't start to round through that lower back. The chest is nice and open, so find space across those collarbones. And let's lift that right leg up. Maybe some rotations with that right ankle. Just check that hip hasn't opened. Draw that right hip down. And find that line of energy. So again, check on that lower back. Feeling that line of energy from the crown of the head all the way through to that right heel. Let's send left arm forward. Find our balance, inhale. And as you do this again, just check that we're not starting to dip into the lower back. The work is through that glute. The work is through the core. Inhale. Exhale. Bring left hand back to the mat. Point the toe. Let's bring that right leg up. Again, just being mindful that we're not dipping into that lower back. And tap the foot down outside, left side of the mat. Inhale, bringing it up through center. And exhale, lowering it down to the right. So some rainbow kicks. Inhale, bring it through center. Make the work come from the glute. Exhale to lower it down. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale through center. Doing 2 more rounds. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Nice and controlled. Exhale to the right. Feel everything that's going on in your body. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. And exhale to the right. Inhale, send that right foot back. Find that line of energy. Good. Breathe in. Inhale. Exhale. Drop that right foot to the mat. Pivot on that left knee. We'll find a little side plank variation. Send the hips forward. Reach that right arm high. Send that right arm overhead. Just feeling that stretch through the side body. A little bit of external rotation in that right shoulder. And your option to lift the right leg up. Working the outside of the leg. Working the outer glutes. Keep reaching that right arm overhead. Find that line of energy again. The neck is long. The left hand is grounding. Joints are stacked in that left arm. Inhaling. And exhale. Lower the foot down. Pivot back on that knee. Right hand comes back to the mat. Back to our start position. Right knee drops. Shake the wrists out if you need to. I'm going to repeat on the left side. Straighten that left leg back. And again, a little pulse through that left leg. Notice how the leg feels. Hopefully the shoulders are woken up a little bit. There's some heat there. And let's lift that left foot up. And again, as we lift, not dipping into the lower back. Find that strength. Think of pulling those lower ribs in. Keeping the integrity of the core. Okay, think of that line of energy. If we dip into the lower back, the line of energy breaks. Keep it strong. The neck is long. Keep it strong, the neck is long. Shut up, Karina. Right, just reaching back again. We can make some rotations with that left ankle. That left hip is staying dropped. It's not opening. Maybe mindful, look around your body. Notice where your body is in space. Cultivate that awareness. And let's send the right arm forward, finding that balancing table. And again, just checking, there's that tendency as we send that right arm forward to dip into the lower back. Make sure you don't lose that line. It should be hard work. We'll stay 2 more breaths here. Keep working the strength through that left leg, through the core. And right hand goes back to the mat. Point that left toe. And bring that left toe over to the outside, right side of your mat. Inhale, bring it through center. Don't dip into that lower back. Exhale, lower that left foot down. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Make the work come from the glute. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. And exhale, dropping the foot onto the mat. Let's pivot on that right knee. Turn the body out. Finding that plank, side plank variation. Left arm reaches high, hips move forward. And then let's take that left arm overhead. Really feel that stretch through the side body, that external rotation in that left shoulder. The neck is long. If you're going well, lift that left leg up. Working through that strength. Working with the breath. Use the exhale, long exhale to stay calm and relaxed in the posture. Inhale. And exhale, release. Left hand comes back. Pivot back on that right knee. Left knee comes down. Back to our tabletop. Let's tuck toes under. Send hips back. Have a little wiggle. Preparing to lift up into our downward facing dog. Lifting up. As always, your option to explore a little bit more now in your downward dog. Just iron out any tension that you feel, or just explore that tension. Let's raise right leg towards the ceiling, finding our 3-legged dog. And just like our tabletop, that right hip stays dropping low. Engaging bandhas as well here. Don't forget about your bandhas. Always, always in your yoga practice, that navel drawing in. The pelvic floor lifting. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Lift that heel high. Don't open the hip just for the time being. Take another inhale. And as we exhale, let's bend that right knee. Stay high on the ball of that left foot. Bring that right foot through between the hands. Right knee over the ankle. And drop the left knee to the mat. Let's come up. So we're going to work through the front of this left hip. I want you to think of tucking that tailbone under. You can bring hands onto lower back if you wish. Pull that tailbone under. Feel that work through the front of that hip. And we shouldn't be dipping into the lower back here. Lower back should be nice and long, just like in our tabletop position. Right knee over the ankle. Keeping this exactly where it is, pulling those lower ribs in. Again, so we're not flaring the ribs. We're not opening through the chest here too much. We're going to reach those arms high. As you reach up, notice what happens in the body, that the ribs want to flare. So we're not going into a back bend here. We just want to find length through the spine. So reaching up through the fingertips, grounding down through the knee, through that right foot, spread the toes.
Let's drop right hand onto hips. Stay nice and long through the spine. Inhale. And exhale, a little bit of side flexion. Working into that psoas. Again, just be mindful you don't start to dip into that lower back. Notice how it feels through the hips, through the side body. Keep the breath long. Keep the mind calm, focused. We'll stay here a few more breaths. Notice how the stretch changes as we stay here. Maybe you're feeling all this left side of the body, the hip loosen up a little bit. Maybe it's making you sweat a little bit as well. Inhale, let's make our way back through center. Exhale, let's plant hands onto the mat. Tuck the back toes under if you brought the top of the foot onto the mat. Send that right leg back up, find three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move forward, find a high plank position. Again, think of that core. Lower ribs drawing in, tailbone is tucking under, strong through the arms, chest is forward. You can always come into your half plank, dropping the knees, but keeping the strength through that core. Inhale and exhale, lowering down through chaturanga or dropping knees, chest, chin, all the way to the mat. Top of the feet come to the mat, move the hands forward, come onto the fingertips, shoulder blades draw down the back. Inhale as we lift up, little cobra, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, use the strength through the back, see if you can engage. Exhale, lower down, so it's not all about the pushing. Make your back work. Inhale. Doesn't matter how high you go. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower down. Shoulders move away from the ears. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower down. Hands come by the chest. Tuck the toes under. Press the hips back and up. Downward facing dog. As always, knees can bend in your downward dog. Take the time to witness the changes in the body as you move through the practice. Send that left leg higher, three-legged dog. And again, that left hip drawing down. You can point the toe if you wish, or keep the ankle flexed. Just my preference in my practice, especially during my first three-legged dogs, I like to keep the ankle flexed. So I'm working the energy line through the body. Press back through that right hip. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Lifting that left heel a little bit higher. Inhale. Exhale, bend that left knee, stay high on that right foot as you bring that left foot through between the hands. And drop the right knee to the mat. Low lunge. Left knee over the ankle. Again, let's work through this right leg. So the focus now is on the hips. Tuck the tailbone under. And notice how this feels. Notice the difference. The lower back is loving this, the lower back. So just nice and strong, nice and long. And you're feeling all the work through the front of that right thigh, the right hip. And working up the body. Unless you're told to do a back bend in any kind of crescent lunge, this is the kind of position that we're looking for. Even in your warrior one, in your Ashtanga practice with me, which is where we're most likely to do warrior one. I don't include it so much in the vinyasa flow because it's always in Ashtanga. But yeah, even in your warrior one, try to avoid this dipping into the lower back. You really want to be finding the work through the hips, the front of the hips especially. The core is on, so the lower ribs are pulling in. So again, unless you're working into a back bend, maybe an Utkatasana, then the ribs flare. Otherwise, you're keeping everything pulled in towards that center line. The chest is staying nice and open. And then let's work those arms up. Notice what the body wants to do. The body wants to escape. The body's always looking for the easiest route. It makes it so much easier if we do this. It feels, what a release. But that's not where the work is. Always try to be honest with yourself in your practice. Find that work. Yeah, I try to explain as much as I can in every posture. Maybe not every class, but I try to cover every posture as much as I can. And where it's working, where the work is in that posture. Sometimes if you're feeling tired, we like to escape. Be honest. Left hand drops. It's always better for yourself in the long run if you're honest. We'll take an inhale. Keep that length through the spine. And then exhale. A little bit of side flexion. Yeah, maybe you don't need much here. Just really starts to switch on that psoas. You'll feel the stretch increase through that right side of the body, the right hip. If it's uncomfortable for the knee, please put something under the knee, a towel, or roll your mat over. And again, we'll stay here a few more breaths. Notice how the posture changes. Maybe that right quadricep is starting to cramp up. You're really having to work the breath hard. Inhale, we'll come back through center. And exhale, let's bring hands to the mat. Coming back into that three-legged dog. Tuck back toes under if you brought top of the foot onto the mat. Press down through the hands. Inhale, lift up. Left heel high. And exhale. Downward facing dog. Taking a vinyasa or a rest. Inhale to move forward. Find your high plank. And exhale, coming straight down. Through your chaturanga or dropping knees, chest, chin. Let's bring hands forward again. Find that oscillating cobra. Shoulder blades down the back. Legs are strong. Toes pressing into the back. Soften the glutes. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lower down. Again, find the work in the back. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Shoulder blades in and down. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Hands by the chest. Tucking the toes under. Option to press up and back or pushing bum back towards the feet before coming up. See if you can work your press up. Inhale to press up and exhale to push back. Downward facing dog. Staying here. Notice how that body feels. Let's send that right leg high again. Three-legged dog. Let's point the toe. Let's make some hip circles. Nice and wide. Nice and slow. Let's go for 3. 2. 1. And keep that hip open. And now work into your body alignment. So drop that right armpit down as you send that right foot high. Onto the ball of the left foot. Can you send that right foot a little bit higher? Can you find a little bit more strength through that right foot, through that right leg? Inhale. And exhale. Bend that right knee. Bring it through. We're going to bring it to the outside of the right foot this time. Lizard. Let's make some movements in our lizard. Let's notice how the body feels. Maybe a little bit looser because we've already worked into the quadriceps. And option to stay here on hands, option to drop elbows. Option to drop that back knee, or we're working strength through that rear leg. Coming back onto the hands. Keep that foot planted outside of that right hand, and let's make our way up. And we're going to work through those hips again. So just as we've done in our low lunge, bring hands onto the sacrum, encourage that tailbone under. As you're encouraging that tailbone under, it's going to become more difficult to straighten through that left leg, but try your best. So we want that strength through the leg, we want the work through the hips. Now we're going to move it up. The navel is in, the lower ribs are pulling in. Let's inhale, take the arms high, but keeping everything here exactly where it is. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's interlace fingers behind the back. Inhale, draw shoulder blades together, hands away from the back. And exhale, variation of our humble warrior, coming inside of that right leg. And sending those hands high. Find strength through that extended leg here. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands inside of that right foot. And send that right foot back, right three-legged. And exhale, downward facing dog. Resting, or we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale to move forward, find your high plank. Exhale to lower down with control. Inhale, just coming into a cobra, normal cobra. Exhale, coming back down. And again, option to tuck tailbone under, pressing up and pushing back. Inhale to press up. Exhale to push back. Downward facing dog. Left side, let's raise that left leg. Three-legged dog. Again, that left hip is dropping down. Press back through that right thigh. Point the toe. And let's make some circles. Nice and controlled. Keep the breath going. Just trying to find some space in that right hip. Let's do two more. Again, it doesn't matter how many you've done. And when you get back to the top, let's keep the hip open. Let's drop that left armpit down if it starts to lift. And work the strength through that leg. See if you can really switch that quadricep on. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Lift that left leg a little bit higher if you can. I know it's hard, it's working. Inhale. And exhale, bend in that right knee. Find that compression strength for a moment as we bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Lowering the hips down and finding that lizard. And again, maybe on your hands. In fact, we're all on our hands. We're just going to add some movement into our lizard. Notice how the hips feel. And then we'll find stillness. Your option to stay on your hands. Your option to drop elbows or elbows to a block. Your option to continue moving in your lizard. Your option to drop that right knee. Otherwise, you're finding strength through that right leg. And then coming on to the hands again. Keeping the foot where it is. So it's a little bit wider than a normal lunge as we make our way up. Tucking that tailbone under. Exactly what we've learned before. If that back leg starts to bend, it's all good. It's better to have that knee bending a little bit and the work going through the front of the hip rather than it being straight and us dipping into the lower back. And then working from those hips. Strength through that back leg as much as you can. Lower ribs pull in. Chest is open, but keeping those lower ribs in. And let's inhale, take the arms high. Good. Inhale. Exhale, interlace fingers. Working those legs. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, humble warrior. Stay nice and high on the ball of the right foot, high through that heel, right heel. Strong through that back leg. And release the hands, bring hands inside of that left foot. Inhale, left foot back and up, three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Resting in your child, you can take, you can stay in your down dog, or we're going to take a vinyasa. Inhale, move forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Stay with the breath. Inhale your cobra, or you're coming into an upward facing dog now if you wish. Exhale, downward facing dog. Raise right leg high, three-legged dog. Open the hip, shoot that right foot high. Drop the right armpit down. Once the ball of the left foot. Find a little bit more strength through that right leg. Work that glute. Inhale. And exhale, close the hip, bend that right knee. We're going to drop the right knee onto the mat, making our way into swan, our pigeon variation. Sitting back, using cushions, blocks, if you need to, underneath that right hip, that right thigh. Have a little wiggle. And just take a moment to notice how that right hip feels. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more open through the front of this left hip because we've worked a lot into that front of hip. And now, keeping that chest nice and open to the top of the mat. Your option to come more into a pigeon position, just being mindful of that right knee. Or wiggling that right foot forward. Keep that right ankle flex. Press through the ball of that right foot. Try to keep a little bit of strength through the leg. A little bit of work. And we'll start to make our way down. Onto our elbows. Or our hands. Or we can stay upright. We're working from an upright position. Maybe you want to relax completely. Bring forehead to the mat or to a block. I encourage you to keep a little strength through that leg still. So keep pressing through the ball of the right foot. So as if you're trying to lift the outside of the ankle off the mat. So that's the work we're looking for. You should feel it. For me, it really works through the lower leg, through the front of the right shin, all those lovely, juicy, supportive muscles around the ankle, around the lower leg. And it really wakes up my glutes. So stretching it at the same time as strengthening it. And lifting the gaze, walk the hands back towards you, or swing that left leg around. Pull that right heel in. Bring left ankle outside of the right knee. If it's too much, you can just bring the foot in here as we come into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Add a nice little twist. So if the sit bone is lifted, left sit bone lifted, just try as best as you can to ground that left sit bone. And if it's too much, just bring that left foot back around. It's all good. Take the right hand onto the right knee. Left hand behind the back. Inhale, find length, open up. And twisting, just working into our upper back a little bit here. Your option to take a bind. So in this position, you will bring that right hand through the hole to meet the opposite hand behind the back. Ashtanga variation is to take hold of the inside of that left foot. Okay, these are all variations. Or we can be here, with the palm facing away from us. And as always, just thinking about those opposing forces. As the arm pushes into the knee pushes back into the arm. Try to keep the weight in the hips. So I'm not leaning back into that left hand. It's just acting as a little bit of support for me here. Breathing into the upper back. Maybe you feel some work going on outside of that left hip. Keep your banders on. Keep that vacuum in the lower abdomen. Make everything so much easier in the twist. And looking back to the front. Let's release or swing the left leg around. Hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes under. Send that right foot back and up. Three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Have a rest, or let's take a vinyasa. Inhale to move forward, high plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale your cobra or your upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left leg lifts, three-legged. Toes point. Open the hip. Draw that left armpit down. Keep finding the work in the posture. Using the strength of the glute to open through the hip. Go into the ball of that right foot. Lift a little bit higher if you can. Inhale. Exhale, close that hip, bend that left knee, bring it through, drop the knee between the hands, or just shy of those hands, and coming into that swan. So the knee is completely closed, nice and safe for that little knee. As we first start to open up into the glutes, we work them hard. And chest is open, just allow the body to sink. The toe is pointed here. And allow yourself to relax, to breathe, and just to witness. As always, that intention to pull the hips square to the top of the mat. And again, maybe it's feeling quite nice and loose in that right hip, hopefully, or a little bit loose, more loose than it would usually. And then we're going to start to make our way into a more pigeon posture. If you're really tight in the glutes and the hips, stay here. Don't risk the knees for your pigeon. And as you come more into that pigeon posture, again, you're keeping the ankle flex, so dorsiflexion in that ankle, toes pulling back towards the shin. Stay on the hands for a moment, and again, let's work a little bit of strength through that left leg. So pushing through the ball of the left foot in an intention to lift the outside of the ankle off the mat. And again, notice how this changes. Maybe relax, and then engage. See the difference. Again, yoga is about that self-governance, not just relying on me or any other teacher in telling you what to do, but actually feeling things in your body, noticing the difference in postures, noticing the difference in directions from different teachers as well, and taking on board whatever works for you in your body. No right, no wrong. And again, your option to stay here, or we're making our way down onto our elbows, keeping the work through that left leg. Keep pressing through the ball of that left foot. Again, if you're sensing any pain in the leg or in the hip when you're doing this, then just come out of it. And again, it's maybe telling you something, it's maybe teaching you something. And as we're coming into this posture, again, it can be quite intense, so just check that you're not tensing up in the jaw, in the face. Keep the Ujjayi breath going if you can. And coming back onto the hands. Let's close that knee off. Pull the heel towards that right hip and then swing that right leg around to come into our little twist. So again, we're just hooking outside of that left knee. So again, this is my teaching. I don't like to have the foot up here. I think it puts too much pressure in the shoulder if you're going for a bind. And as an Ashtangi, we take a bind. So this I don't like to do. Again, your teacher tells you to do it, then maybe you just do it or see how it feels, and you can always modify if it doesn't feel good in your body. Right sit bone, intention to get that sit bone down. And again, we're twisting off to the right. The hand is coming behind the back, but we're keeping the weight in the hips. Left hand is pulling on that right knee as we gaze over the shoulder. And breathe into your upper back. And again, maybe you're taking a bind, maybe you're just hooking elbow outside of that right knee. Maybe you're feeding the left arm through the hole, or maybe you're reaching towards the inside of that left foot. And we'll stay here a few more breaths. Looking back to the front, releasing, we'll swing that right leg back around. Going back onto the hands. Let's send left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, let's drop the knees to the mat. Go onto the tops of the feet. Hips stay over the knees. Let's walk the hands forward. Find a little heart opener. Our extended puppy. And your option to really just allow the chest to sink, working through the entire back. We'll keep the tailbone tucked under, finding a little bit of strength through the shoulders. Armpits draw towards the mat. And if you're really hyper flexible in the shoulders, then I would suggest not going so deep. And think about wrapping the triceps under as you press the hands down. And lift the gaze. We'll walk hands back towards us. Drop the hips over the feet. Let's send the knees wide. And let's find our child's pose. And lifting the gaze. Bring the hands back towards your knees, back underneath the hips. We'll swing those legs around, nice and easy. Bring your bum into the center of your mat. Let's take the hands in front and let's slowly roll. Just so the sacrum comes onto the mat, rounding through the spine. Let's hold here, squeezing pelvic floor in. Just finding the work through the core. And think about the lower ribs and the pubic bone drawing up towards each other. There's a little crunch, like a little sit-up. Really rounding through the chest. And let's lower down a little bit more. Feel the work. A little bit more. Keep tucking the tailbone under as you lower. So we want the spine to go vertebra by vertebra all the way down onto the mat with control. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As controlled, as slow as you can. Reaching the arms overhead, stretching out the legs. Nice big inhale. And as you exhale, coming into your final posture, your Shavasana, heels wide. Take up space with your arms. As always, please take a blanket if you have one, or a hoodie, some socks that keep you warm. And a nice long exhale to release bandhas and release your Ujjayi breath. Returning to normal breathing. Eyes closed. Create space between your back teeth. And when you're comfortable, just resisting the urge or the temptation to move any part of your body. Just let it find stillness. And as always, your option to stay in your Shavasana as long as you wish. Otherwise, take in a deep inhale. And exhaling the breath, connecting the navel to the spine. Inhaling the breath into your heart space. And exhaling the breath into the fingertips and the toes. Starting to wiggle the fingers and toes. And bringing some movement back to your body. Rotating your wrist, your ankles, and when you're ready, bring in
your feet, your legs together. Take the arms overhead for a full body stretch. And draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a cuddle, showing self-love, self-acceptance, total compassion. You are enough right now. Always were, always will be. Rock into your right hand side when you're ready. And joining me in a comfortable seat. And bringing hands into Anjali Mudra at your heart center. We'll finish with the sacred sound Om. 3 Shantis. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Using hands to head for kindness in thoughts to yourself and to each other. Hands to your heart for kindness in your actions, and to your lips for kindness in your words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me. I hope you all feel a little bit more open in your body, calmer in your mind. I hope you found it a nice, moving meditation. I hope you were able to connect to that inner space, that inner peace that exists inside at all times. And so that is it. If you're still in your Shavasana, enjoy the rest of your Shavasana. Tomorrow it is Ashtanga Flow Day, Tuesday, so we'll be back. I will be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, if you have questions about your practice, please drop me a line on social media, or if you have my number, of course, I'm always available on WhatsApp for you anytime. And please like the video. If you like the video, please share the video if you know others who might be interested in this or any of my other videos. Please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. And if you are financially stable enough to do so, please do make a small donation. The link to my PayPal is always in the description of the video when I upload it finally from the live stream version to the video version. So you can find the link in any of my other videos. I think that is it. So yes, enjoy your evening, and I shall see some of you virtually tomorrow. And also, if you want a one-to-one class, please contact me. I'm now offering one-to-one classes in outdoor spaces, weather depending. So only if the weather is good. And hopefully, and group classes as well, I will be starting soon. I've started my group calisthenics classes on a Saturday morning. If you are interested, you are local to me, Willenhall, Wolverhampton, then you can you can join. I will be starting the group yoga classes soon, and fingers crossed we will be able to get back into studios really soon, and I can see your beautiful, beautiful faces. But yeah, until then, keep practicing, and stay well, stay safe, stay sane, and I'll see you soon. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Love to you all.